Hey everybody, Fishman here. Welcome to another video. This is Fishman Log number 170. And I want to start off with this tank today because, well, there's a few interesting things going on in it. First off, this filter, which I cleaned a few weeks back now, it's settling in quite nicely, and there are aspects of this that I really like. And I am going to be building another filter style, which is going to be partially like this one, but a bit different because this one has a few things about it that I don't quite like. And I bought a bunch of acrylic, and I'm going to be doing that shortly. The gap in how many filters I built recently is based on, well, I like to test things out for quite some time. This here is a perfect example. This, I think, is finally ready for me to take apart. You can see there's lots of extra roots in this one here and fewer in this one. As far as the plants themselves go, there's not really much of a difference, but I want to see if having those holes in the pot will result in more roots, and that will be coming up really shortly now. It's basically done all it needs to do. So, like I said, I'm going to be building some more filters, and like I said, it takes time for these things to work themselves out, a couple of years at least. And as you can see here, I bought a bunch of acrylic, and that's what that's going to be used for. And I'm going to start off making one. I'll show you the tank that it's going to go into when we get to that point. But yeah, it's about time I started building more filters, and that's coming up. Last video, I cleaned this out completely, and now you see I've added some plants back into it, and I have put all of my white cloud mountain fish in here for the moment. Actually, I think they're probably going to stay in here. What I plan to do is breed them again, of course, but I want to leave the bottom relatively clear of plants, and what I'm going to do is add a plastic container with Java moss or some plaster tang or something, and that's going to be where they'll spawn, and I'll just swap them out periodically. The lemon geranium I've cut back quite a bit, as you can see. It's just nothing but snips now, and I'm hoping to root that and start some more, but it was getting just too overruly. Anyway, it was taking over, and it was just difficult to get anything going on around it. I have two cultures currently of, Daphnia. Now, this one here is the more teeming one, but they're both being fed exactly the same. They're both getting spirulina powder once in the morning, every morning. Every now and then I'll miss a morning because I'm busy with work or whatever, and I do actually notice a difference, but this is giving me a very stable environment so far. And if I can pick up another one of these jars, I think I might start up another one, but I haven't been able to find any at the moment. I think 3 or 4 would probably be the most, the best number, but we'll see. Either that or I'll do something in that aquarium back there. But yes, this is all much neater, much more usable now, and I'm very happy about that. It was long overdue, as you probably admit. So this is the tank I fixed in the last video. It is obviously working perfectly fine. This is now going to be my cull tank. I'm going to be putting all the fish that, aren't up to snuff for, continuing and breeding, and they'll go out to clients. A lot of my guppies need to go through that process. This is probably the tank that's the most homogeneous. A lot of these fish are perfectly fine. There's nothing really wrong with them. I'll go through, double check, pull out ones that I don't care for, color types, that sort of stuff. But for the most part, this tank is doing really quite well as far as what I want in it. This one here, I have already gone through that process with. I have noticed that there are 2 or 3 others that I'm going to pull out that aren't exactly what I would want for this. But this tank has always produced lots of fry. I've put them out in clients' tanks, and yeah, I'm very happy about how that's going, and I'm going to keep it going that way. It's, like I said, one of those rare times when platies just seem to all get along and grow and breed and perfectly fine. I'm running out of zebra danios. I really do need to breed them again. I've been putting out in the clients' tanks, and you can see them down to, somewhere between a dozen and 20. There's a few in here that are, basically culls. They'll go into that tank on the lower left that I showed you, and the rest I'll definitely set up for breeding. This tank has quite an odd mix of fish types that I don't want and fish types that I kind of like, so this really does need to be gone through and pull out the fish that I don't care for, and start, well, breeding the ones that I think, at least the body structure that I like. It's fine, it's just not up to snuff. This one here is probably the best one of all of them. I got a couple of really nice males in there, and the females are pretty good. There's one or two, well, there's a bent spine female right there, and a couple of the darker males aren't, well, they're fine. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. I'll probably set them up in a separate spot to breed them. But for the most part, I do like some of the fish that are in there. This one needs to be definitely gone through because there's a ton of fish in here. And there's a few I don't care for, but for the most part, again, it's really quite good. This is going to be getting the first of the new filters. I'm going to take that box filter out, and I'm going to put one of the new ones in. I haven't seen any new spawns of the crystal red shrimp, but the other ones are doing really well. They're all spread over now. I mean, they're all through the tank. You'll see here in a second there'll be a few here, and then in the back there's also more. So I'm very happy that they are now surviving, and I hope to get another batch or two. I've been so busy. I haven't really been paying attention to whether there were any females carrying or not, but so far, so good. So I'm going to keep that going. Again, mostly what I'm going to be focusing on in the near future is breeding the zebra danios, selectively breeding, not so much for a particular type, but just getting better body structures on some of the guppies and the white clouds. Here's a very rare glimpse of the back of these tanks, and yeah, there's a few things that need to be done with that as well. So just to finish up here, this row here, these are, well, the new batch of, well, there's a pair of plecos in here that are breeding, and I've got, I think, 3 batches of fry now. I find that they don't do really well if there are older siblings, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull all the little ones out. They're going to go in the pond because it needs a good algae scrubbing, and then I'll allow them to breed some more. This male hopped down from the tank above. He's doing really well in here. I left him here because I wanted to see how well a male gardener will do in a community tank, and so far haven't had any issues with it at all. I may pop one over into one of the guppy tanks just to see how that happens. I suspect all the fry are going to get eaten, but we'll see. I haven't decided whether or not I like this. These are not bad looking guppies. They're okay. I might just keep some of them going, pull out the nicer ones, start a little colony of that. But for the most part, they're doing pretty well. And again, lots of culling that needs to be done. And then, as you can see, in that particular tank, I need to deal with a lot of duckweed too. The OB zebras seem to just keep on breeding. This is the middle batch. I actually didn't really show you much of the first batch. They're in the tank next to the guppies down below there. They're doing fine. Hard not to do well. I mean, they're easy fish to raise. And again, I have yet to do anything with these because I have no idea where I'm going to put them. I have currently, I think, 2 pairs in here, and they seem to be culling and cowing the rest of them. But anyway, Carbensis are difficult to place. They don't show well. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Leave comments, let me know what you think of everything, and I'll see you in the next video, and bye for now.